Steve Taylor's High School Stars of the Week. I'm Nick Marconi with Steve Taylor, Tom Cole, and Terry Crosby. Oh wait, Steve won't be here today, but Tom and Terry's going to handle the show. We got a standout cheerleader, we got two amazing team managers, and we got two all-stars for basketball. Guys, take it away.
Hi, Tom Cole with my best pal here, Super Cross, Mr. Terry Crosby, and welcome into Steve Taylor High School Stars. And Cross, every time that we do one of these shows without the boss, without Steve, we come close to getting fired. You realize that? So this could be our last show, but we'll make it a good one, right?
I know what. When you let me know it's just going to be you and I yesterday,
yeah.
I started panicking.
Yeah, we always.
Oh my God, what's going on?
We seem to always get close to the line of being canned, you know?
Yes,
but we're going to do the best we can.
Yes,
First up, Cross, we're going to go over to Toledo Christian, and you know, we like to. Steve always likes to, as do you, acknowledge not just the athletes, but all the students that are on that make the game, whether that's the band members, the cheerleaders, the managers. Yeah. So we have a cheerleader today, Angelina Rossbert, and she's the team captain of cheerleaders at Toledo Christian. She's a scholar in the classroom. She's great as a cheerleader captain, does a wonderful job in the community. So Angelina, and I don't know, can you still do a cartwheel, Cross? I don't know if you can do a cartwheel.
I haven't been able to do a cartwheel in 50 years.
I'd actually pay some money to see. I'd pay some money to see you attempt that. But how important are the cheerleaders? That's a big deal.
It really, really is. And you know, Tom, I'm glad that you picked a cheerleader because a lot of times they get overlooked for their efforts. And you know what? Cheerleaders work hard.
And they're athletic on top of that.
Yeah, very, very much so. And I actually, when I was at DeVille High School, I dated a cheerleader. So even back then in the mid-'70s, I knew how much work it took to excel at being a cheerleader, how much determination it took. So congratulations, young lady. We wish you the best of luck for the rest of the year.
Well said, Cross.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to move over to St. John's Jesuit, and we have two managers.
Yeah.
You're on, Mr. Crosby's on the board at St. John's, doing a great job, as is Steve Taylor. So that's always a very cool thing. But we have two managers at St. John's we want to acknowledge. First one, Cross, is a gentleman named Ben Weber, and he's the manager for the hockey program. And you know, hockey, I mean, they practice at odd hours and sometimes in the morning, late at night. So a manager in hockey is maybe one of the harder things to do in high school. And the other one, Cross, Willie Malkowski, who is the basketball manager. I know Willie does a phenomenal job. His brother did the job before he did, and I think his brother's at Dayton now, and I think he's a manager for the Dayton Flyers. So I think it runs in the family, but two great managers, Ben and Willie. You can't run the sports without managers. Managers are the key, and I know in your great career, Cross, you had great managers at DeVille, and you had great managers at Tennessee.
Yes, and you know, I think you'll appreciate this, Tom Cole. You know what, we played the game, but behind the scenes, there's always something going on that's positive, that takes determination, that has to be very inspiring. And managers, you know, they are a key to any team's success.
There's
because
no question.
without your managers, what do you have? You know, University of Tennessee at DeVille, I had to get taped up. You know, I didn't know how to tape at the time.
Right.
My managers taped me. So I really, really appreciate, again, that you brought up kind of like the unsung heroes in this segment. And I really appreciate all the work the managers do for all teams.
You know, Supercross, they're kind of like the CEOs of the teams, because they administratively do all the things that, without them, you don't take the floor, basically, between the taping and the cleaning the uniforms and making sure the basketballs have air in them. And that sounds like, oh, you know, but it's important. You have to use the basketballs and they're not inflated right. That's a problem. You know?
And I just love your picks each week, Tom Cole, because you don't only kind of pick out the stars. They're all stars in our eyes, but you pick out the people that perhaps doesn't get as much attention for their efforts.
We try to do it. You do that. Steve does it.
Yes.
Nick does it. We try to do it. Now we're going to move over, Cross, to Start High School, TPS Proud. Tamara Worthy had a big game against Copley. And what I liked about her game, and you appreciate this, Cross, because you were an all-around player. You could do anything. You would do anything to help your team win. If it was assists or scoring, whatever you needed, the team needed, you'd do it. She had 12 points against Copley, and she had 9 rebounds. 9 rebounds in the ladies' game in high school, that's a lot of boards. And she did a great job in a tough game against Copley.
And, you know, any contribution to, you know, a winning team is always honored by us, you know, because we realize the importance. It's just not about scoring in the game of basketball. It's also about defending. It's about assists. It's about rebounds. And she just illustrated a complete game the other day. So congratulations.
And you know what's interesting, Cross? We don't always, I think sometimes people think, you know, well, they're just picking teams that are winning or they want to get. Start lost this game.
Right.
They lost 40-39 in overtime. But, you know, sometimes you learn more about yourself in a loss. And that sounds, for people sitting in the stands eating hot dogs and drinking Pepsis, maybe that doesn't sound right. But you know, as the kind of incredible player you were, you learn more about yourself sometimes in a loss.
Yes.
You know, you reevaluate. What do I have to do? I tried hard. We didn't win. What do we have to do more? Do I have to practice harder? Do I have to work on more things? So a loss can be a win down the road.
Right. And you learn so much, especially in an overtime game, losing by 1 point. I mean, that is really, really heartbreaking. For instance, if I can just mention to you, University of Tennessee played Kentucky over the weekend, got blew out by 28 points.
Right.
They learned from that. Last night, they went into Nashville, played Vanderbilt, and came away with the victory.
I'm so glad you said that because a lot of times, again, sometimes people don't get this that aren't in the arena, literally on the court or on the field. A loss will make you better.
Yes.
If you understand what's really happened here. Hey, we're not as good as we think we are.
Right.
You know, how many times has that happened? You're undefeated and everybody's slapping you on the back and saying, hey, you're the greatest. And then it kind of creeps in and you start thinking, hey, we're really that good. And you know what? The minute you start thinking you're that good, what happens to you, Cross?
You're not.
You're not. You come up against somebody that's definitely better.
Right.
All right, Cross. Lastly, we're going to move over to Toledo Christian. And this is kind of an interesting story. A freshman, Cross, Carter Coaster. He playing Emmanuel Christian. We just had, or played Emmanuel Christian. We just had the star
Jerry Jr.
Jerry Jr. Thank you in the studio. So it was a tight game, you know, pressure-packed game. And what Carter did is he took the last shot, you know, to win the ball game. First of all, you've played with a lot of guys that were great players that maybe didn't want to take the last shot.
I didn't want to take the last shot a lot of times.
It's a different person that says, give me the ball. Right. I'll accept whether I make it or I don't make it. I saw the stats somewhere, Michael Jordan, how many last shots he took and missed. Yes. People always talk about the ones he made, which are phenomenal. He missed a ton of last shots.
And you know what? That just reminded me when we did the little segment and you kind of said to me, Cross, you missed some shots.
Yeah, right.
And I said, I didn't miss that many times.
Yeah, but it takes a certain chutzpah to take the last shot, you know, because it falls on you.
And what people don't realize is Michael Jordan missed more shots than he made.
There's no question about that.
In regards to last-second winning game shots.
But he and Larry Bird were willing to take the shot, you know, and that's a different thing. But this freshman, Carter, took the shot, made the bucket, and then got fouled right away. He ended up a bucket and a couple of foul shots, and he led Toledo Christian to a 52-48 win over Emmanuel Christian. But a freshman.
Yes.
I mean, you don't get that normally from a freshman. That's a senior, junior thing, right?
Yes.
And then after the game, being interviewed, you know what he said, Cross? You'll like this. Hey, it was because my teammates got me the ball. I was in the right spot. Right. They saw me. They got me the ball. I couldn't have done it without my teammates. And my coach who had faith in me to take the shot. That's a young man that's going to be special.
And you know what? Going back to, you know, hard work pays off. You know this young man, this same shot that he took to win the game, you know he practiced that shot over and over and over again.
That's right.
For that same game situation.
Right.
But it's just unbelievable. But this young man, as a freshman, will have the guts to step up. And put the game on his shoulders.
That's absolutely right, Cross. And that's a perfect segue to wrap it up, Cross.
Yes.
Because we had enough guts to, not patting ourselves on the back, we had enough guts to come in and do this without our boss, Steve Taylor. Because normally we get in trouble. I don't know if China's filming today. I don't know if we're in trouble or not, China, or will there be a box on our desk at the end of the video?
Yes, and don't forget to mention, what are your favorite friends? Marco's Pizza.
Yeah, without Marco's, you know, we send to all the kids that we recognize, they get their pizza slip and they get a wonderful pizza from Marco's.
Yes.
And I can personally attest, Cross, because I'm eating about half of the pizzas during the course of the year. Marco's Pizza is great, and we sure appreciate the relationship that we have with them. So for Super Cross and myself, minus our boss, Steve Taylor, Nick Marconi, thanks so much for being with us on the Steve Taylor High School Stars today.